Welcome back. As I mentioned, we do have Jeff Parker here with some excellent information for the reopening of the village. But before we do that, we are going to go over some of the COVID numbers. Now, this will probably be our last time that we go over our COVID numbers. So, because we know that they're really not too much to report. They are very low, but nevertheless, we'll do it one last time.
One last time. The COVID numbers actually had a little spike, but that was predicted kind of coming out of the last holiday that we had, but at 75, still way under the numbers that we had seen before. Unfortunately, a couple more deaths, but the big numbers
Look
were
at that significant amount of testing.
Yeah.
That went way up. That's like double what they were doing.
Again, they probably accumulated over that holiday weekend and reported that. But again, it's so important relative to the one we show on our percentages and how they drop down. The important ones, again, really, really low numbers on the ICUs and the beds. Because the hospital beds and the ICUs mean that the hospitalization rate has gone down. People getting that sick with COVID is critical. So vaccinations have worked to help reduce that. And it's allowed the governor to move to this day, today, going away from the whole tiered system at all.
Right, which of course we will be talking about shortly. But did you want to show the other chart as well, so we can see the numbers, just so we can see them one last time, since we're probably not going to. And we are always very happy that they're in such a low, because remember, we've been reporting these things for over a year and a half, about a year and a half now.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and if you remember, we were up in that purple tier, and it was frightening in some of the numbers, and now we're below 1% on everything. And that's certainly the category of minimal tier is under 2%, so that shows you that we're meeting the criteria that certainly the governor had in moving away from the tiers altogether, which he's doing today.
Right, which is great. And there has been chat that, you know, come the fall, we'll have to all revisit things because we just don't know what could happen. We don't know if we'll have to wear masks or not wear masks, or we don't know. I mean, it's
we don't know, and that's why the state is so so gung-ho about moving forward and continuing to move forward with the vaccinations. Because the vaccinations are going to be the best protective to having to be reactive and going back to a mask wearing.
Exactly. And there was a report out that those areas that are not heavy on the vaccinations they still have COVID high numbers. High numbers. So good job, Village, right? I mean, good job to Laguna Woods as a whole.
It's been fantastic.
And we have
numbers.
Have we increased at all?
No, just a slight. We were at 422 a couple of weeks ago when I talked to you. We were at 425, but
nothing much.
Nothing much in the way of growth. And again, this is the good news, is that the Village, and when you go back and look at these numbers historically, you're going to find out that the Village did a great job getting ahead of it, getting the individuals to wear masks, controlling the scenario. I can't say enough about our citizens here and our residents of how they participated in staying safe, and it allowed us to have some of the lowest numbers in Orange County.
Exactly. Okay, so enough on the COVID. Washing our hands of that for now.
Looking forward to not having to talk about it.
That's right, that's right. All right, but moving on to very exciting news is that all of the folks here are anticipating things opening. So let's go ahead, and we have a nice chart for everybody to follow along. And today is the day. So what are we looking at?
So a lot of reopenings, expansion of things that we've already been doing. So with the first thing I wanted to mention was the community center where we're at. We're going to be open 8 a.m. to 4:30 Monday through Friday for just the center itself. We're going to have the community center is going to be over. The fitness center will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then the MAC Learning Center and PC workshops will follow the same kind of operations of the community center, but really they'll work with their coordinators because they have volunteers that manage both of those operations. So they'll be working directly with them.
And there's limited space in there anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Table tennis, one of our very popular things, from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday right now. And we'll be looking at expanding this in July as the opportunity comes to expand our operations on it.
Do you mean expanding
Hours.
what? Oh, hours, like to what time? 5?
Probably later in the evening, like like the fitness center.
Oh, okay.
And also on the weekend.
Oh, gotcha. That's right.
It's all about coordinating the amount of time we have with our staffing and
Yes.
getting everything up to speed.
Well, and as we talked before, there is still an issue. It hasn't gone away that many corporations and our service industries cannot find people to work. And that is a huge issue with everyone.
It's a challenge. It's a
Yeah.
challenge, and we're facing it, and we're working very hard in due diligence, and we're reaching out even to our residents here to see if we have residents that would like to work on a part-time basis for some of these
What a great
jobs that we have.
opportunity. Oh, that's nice. That's great. That's good. All right. So what now? Oh, then we have to go back to that same slide to talk about the
real
resident
quick,
services.
resident services and manor alterations. As you know, in the past, we were working like half-day schedules for appointments. Now we're going to full day, 8
okay.
a.m. to 4 p.m. You can make scheduled appointments with both resident services and manor alterations. You can walk in, the center's open, but we're trying to gear everybody towards appointments so that we can have a scheduled time with you,
Yes.
address your specific issue, and then get you off and going. We have a lot of people that are using the telephone and email. That's great. We'd like that because that doesn't clog up, obviously, people coming into the building.
Right.
So our operations are working really effectively right now, so we want to continue that operation. And then last thing I wanted to mention was real estate. They were very happy to know that open houses and estate sales will resume now.
Okay, and you had mentioned that under resident services, the RFIDs, are they still going to pull around the back
Yep,
like they did
still
before?
going to do the same operation with regards to our
Hey, it
RFID.
works great.
Yep, it does. They don't have
It's
to
like a
come into the
drive-through.
building. Yep, very similar to that.
All right,
All
good.
right, go
And then
on.
you have another slide here. We're going to talk
Sure.
about something else. Clubhouses.
Yeah, we got the
Good.
clubhouses now. Clubhouse 1 open from 8 to 8 on a daily basis. This includes billiards and drop-in lounge, the indoor archery, outdoor gym, no restrictions on the gym. We
Okay.
used to have restrictions, now there won't be any, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then that indoor and outdoor gym will also be open on Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right.
Also open will be the indoor mini gym, which is where we play badminton and pickleball and volleyball.
Okay.
Now on Clubhouse 2, limited use at Clubhouse 2 right now. We're still just focusing on indoor recreation classes that we hold and the indoor bingo.
Okay.
As far as Clubhouse 2 at this point in time.
Okay. All right.
With regards to, keep going here, at Clubhouse 4 or 5, no restrictions and reservations at Clubhouse 4, but we do want you to contact the Clubhouse for specific studio times. So we have workshops like the wood shop and the sewing center and then the ceramics. They're all handled a little different with regards to how they're handling their classes and how they're handling people coming in.
Okay.
So if you just contact them, the phone number is 597-4291.
Okay.
Gotta make sure I got that right. 4291.
4291. Okay.
And so just contact the studios and they'll direct you as far as the specific times they're going to be open.
Okay.
Bocce's no restriction, so we're opening that again. And same way with going to the next page, we got lawn bowling, paddle tennis, pickleball, all basically just time restrictions, no reservations required. The only reservations we're doing on pickleball is in the non-peak hours. So 3 to 8 p.m. at night and on Saturday and Sunday. The reason we're doing that again is the staffing
Yeah.
requirements and making sure that we have people getting the availability of getting on the courts. Want to make it sure it spreads out and everybody has an opportunity to play.
Right.
But during those peak hours where everybody generally goes out in the mornings and plays, we're not restricting that with regards to reservation at all.
Well, yeah, pickleball works a little bit differently than tennis because sometimes, people are playing and then you put a paddle like in the middle or something and then you rotate.
Right.
So there is
A lot of
that
that.
kind of thing. They do rotations.
And there's certainly, even with tennis, there's some of that goes on. So we're, again, no reservations required on courts 1 through 6 with regards to tennis, but we are doing reservations required from 7 a.m. to noon on courts 7 and 8. Again, for those that go out there on a regular basis, the very active tennis players, they'll be in those courts 1 through 6. We'll make sure that we have the capability of getting people slotted in that go out once in a while through a reservation on courts 7 and 8.
Excellent.
excuse me, and then reservations required all day on courts 9 and 10. So the same thing, just being able to have the flexibility at this point in time with regards to our reservation system.
Great.
Big one, pools.
Yes.
Pool 2 is the only one we're going to have reservation process on, and that is being monitored with our lifeguards, and that's because we have the lap pool there, and we want to, a lot of confirmations from people and dialoguing with people when we went into COVID. They like the lap swimming, and they're the more active swimmers, I'll say, and
Right.
they're not just in the pool lounge. So we're going to keep pool 2 for that lap swimming, and all the other pools are going to be open with no lane. They'll have lanes or non-lanes, but they'll be open for activities.
Okay.
Now, the one I wanted to mention there was pool 5, the typical 7 to 9, but 4 lanes, and then 7 to 10:30, there'll be 2 lanes from 10:30 to 9 p.m. So we'll kind of narrow down the lanes, but the
okay.
rest of the swimming will be open.
All right.
Pool 6, obviously no lanes. Pool 1, I mentioned last time, we're still waiting for the boiler. Hopefully I'll have an update next week on that, but we're working feverishly to get that thing shipped out here and get it installed so we can get Pool 1 back open to full operation, and that'll make a big difference with regards to our activities.
Great. Great.
The last thing I wanted to mention was we had a lot of calls and questions with regards to guests, again, with regards to the pools, 15 and older with regards to guests. And with regards to golf, we're trying to make sure that everybody's getting a tee time that's a resident here, but we are going to allow in non-prime time hours guests to come in. But you need to contact the clubhouse there.
Right.
So the contact number for the golf club is 597-4336. Call them directly about getting a guest to come in the non-peak hours in the afternoon.
And do you know what the non-peak hours are?
I don't think they know. It's all
just
depending on how many of our residents are staying with their reservations, because we are fully booked with regards to
Right.
reservations.
Right.
We know that's going to start to go down a little bit because there's these other activities they can now do.
Right. Right.
And so that's where we'll squeeze in some of our guests.
Well, and like you said, the best place to call is to call, talk to the golf shop, find out what they're going to obviously be able to tell you what are peak hours and what aren't. So.
Don't want to forget the History Center and the library. No restrictions there. The hours there at the library are 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then 10 to 1 on Saturday. And the History Center is 11 to 1 on Monday through Friday. So it's great to have those open again too. And yeah, so it's really good. And then we drop over to July 6th. What we're going to do after the 4th of July holiday, we'll expand the hours. We're again trying to get our staffing up here.
Yes.
Again, Clubhouse 7, we'll start to see the bridge room reopening, so the big bridge club can come back in there.
Right.
And then clubhouse reservations. This was an important one that we want to start gearing up in July, and that is getting people reservations for private parties, weddings, and those type of events,
right.
which is going to be a big deal because they haven't been able to do it for
I know. I heard there's a
half.
huge rush on so many venues now for people wanting to get married, and it's now they're having to book way in advance to like the next year. So yeah, big push.
That'll be a big. And the last one there is the Equestrian Center. We're in the midst right now of getting the arena all fixed up, new sand and everything down there, and so the arena's going to be fixed up, and we're doing some other landscaping down there, so we're excited about having that ready to go in July.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about the classes that they're going to have, because it sounds like they have a lot of new stuff that was not offered before, and some therapeutic things, which is going to be really awesome for people. And then they don't have to go. I mean, the Shea Center is awesome, but that's in San Juan Capistrano.
Sure.
So if you have something similar to that here for some of those folks, I think that's great.
It will be. Two other things I wanted to mention real quick. The Emeritus program, which we work with, obviously, the college, they're going to stay online with their classes until January.
Okay.
So there won't be any Emeritus classes during the summer or fall.
Okay.
So we'll wait and see how that works out in January. We're talking to them on their schedule. And the last thing is transportation in the village. We have a big transportation system, and I just want to make sure people understand that even though today you don't have to wear a mask to come into the community center or go to these activities, you still have to wear a mask on the transportation. That is federally regulated and state regulated, and it mandates the mask is still continued. Now we're going to hear from OSHA, which sets standards for employees and everything on the 17th. At that point in time, that may be relaxed. We'll see how that works out on the 17th, but we'll be following those guidelines from the state and the feds with regards to transportation until then.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good to know. So just pop in that mask in your purse or pocket because you just never know when you're going to need it at this
And
point.
when you go out to
Yeah.
the private sector, they still have the right as a business to determine whether they want to require you to wear masks in their facilities.
Right.
So it is not just carte blanche that everybody's going back. Some places may still require that you wear a mask.
Exactly.
And so it's often good to keep that in handy place.
Exactly. I actually found that out yesterday because there was one place that we would go to and it was a chain, but they gave it up, they gave the authority up to each individual location, and one location required masks and the other one didn't. So yeah, it's still a little willy-nilly out there for now, so be prepared.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, thank you. Great information. Very excited. We'll see how things go. We'll see you again next Tuesday and we'll catch up.
Sounds great.
All right, thanks. All right, come on back because I have some great information for you about Girl Scout cookies. Stay tuned.